Hello everyone, so today I have the March Premium Sketchbox Art Supply subscription box to unload. That's a mouthful. Let's see what's inside. Ooh, I think the tissue paper's changed a little bit. Oh, we got a stray in the box there. And I'm going to see if I can get it all out of here. Hiding. Alright, here's our lovely cute little sticker with those little paint pots, and I really like how that looks. Get out of here, cord's in the way. We have our brochure with a little lesson in there, things from my desk sticking to it. I want to go to the descriptions, there we go, and set it over here. Well, I suppose I can just have it a little off screen. Alright, we have a surface here. Let's check that out. We have the Fluid 100 hot press watercolor paper. I like their little illustration there. It's a 10 pack, 140 pounds. Let's see what it says in the 300 GSM. Doesn't say anything about whether it's cellulose or cotton. It says it's a thick, smooth paper that is perfect for this month's gouache. And I would like a piece. Here, let's just take one out. Ooh. Yes, it's a bright white. It is very smooth. Hot press, in my experience, doesn't like you use too much water, but we've got gouache anyway, so we shouldn't be using too much water in that case. Let's see what we have here. A mechanical pencil. This is the Zebra Delgard mechanical pencil. I have this one, and it is one of my favorites. It says it has a double spring patent pending mechanism that ensures lead is secure, adding protection from breakage with old drawing styles vertically or at any angle. That's great for me because I kind of never have the same thing going on. I switch it up a lot. What is it? It's 0.5. I don't know if I said that. So I'll just write down Zebra Delgard. That must be, the guard must be that patent. But in my experience, I've liked using this one with mechanical pencils. Sometimes I break the lead, which sometimes I'm sure it happens with this one too. But I do like that you don't have to sharpen, you don't have to carry a sharpener. So I think I have a favorite pencil for sketching that's a couple favorites that are not mechanical. So if I'm bringing like colored pencils, I might bring something like that. And we have a nice eraser on the back with a little cap. Enough about that. Let's see what else we have here. Ooh, we have a paintbrush, and this looks like a fine liner since we can swatch that. One drawback of erasers is that gummy stuff. This is extra small, looks like, maybe a brush nib, speedball calligraphy brush pen. Tongue-tied today. Never had this before. Nice feeling body of the pen. I think it looks pretty sleek too. What does that say? It says permanent. And on our little brochure it says it's a great pen for illustrative line work, and it functions like a fude pen with a flexible tip for varying line weight. Let's check that out. We're just going to call this Speedball. It does remind me a little bit of some of the I have even in my drawer here. Different, I think these are Zebra pens, yes. And then there's a bunch of Japanese that I haven't learned how to read yet. But oof, I've got a few of these that are permanent, have a nice flexible nib that I've enjoyed. So if I'm going fast like this, I did notice I'm getting a dry brush effect. And then nice and slower. Let me see if I pay attention. Get a fine line, thicker line, and then thicker line. Look at my little, oh, it's so crooked. I can't draw straight lines because my hands shake a bit. Yeah, so if you want to have it be a smooth line, you want to go a little slower. If you want a dry brushy type look or less ink, you can whip around real fast. The Sketchbox signature, we have a pointed filbert here, which I think is like a cat's tongue, but maybe some cat's tongues are even just a little more pointed, but this one looks pretty pointed. Why don't we give you a nice look up here? It does have sizing on it, so I'll need to get that off with some water. And it just says it's a super versatile brush, perfect for gouache. Let's soften this up. Now it's wet and more flexible. And now that that's ready, we can check out the other items in the box. We have a 3-piece set of Sketchbox signature gouache in coral, crimson, and peacock green. That must be what these lovely things are. I don't know how I feel about this container for them. We've gotten in the past like speedball ink in containers like this, acrylic ink, which always seems to dry up really quickly in the container. Now, since gouache is a water use medium, like it can dry up and you can re-wet it, that might not be a problem, but this looks interesting. It's like half full and I don't even know, a little gummy. That's the peacock green. For whatever reason, it doesn't look pretty. Let's see what's happening with, what's this one? Coral. So maybe these guys aren't even all that airtight with their seal on it. Oh yeah, look. That is also sort of looking half full. And interesting little texture there. It looks like it's separated quite a bit. Does it matter? I'm mixing up the caps. And what have I got all over my hand? I don't even know. Was that from there? I'll have to look back. Not sure when that happened. Ooh, this one's much more creamy, but yeah, not very full. That's kind of a bummer. And they're saying that that little half-full pot is worth $5.99. Okay. I want to see what these look like. These two look like they're not ready to go quite yet. So, and I put that right out of frame, didn't I? Let's come back. There's lots of paint on here, and considering that our pot is only half full, I want to try to use some of that. I think I got way more than enough. This is crimson. Interesting. It reminds me more of like a burgundy or Merlot color, but ooh, it's definitely on the cool side. Like, very cool pinky red. And I have enough to go forever here. Maybe I'll just throw some down there. I've got some water to my side here that's out of frame. So, if you're wondering what I'm doing there. Okay, I want to save that, but I also don't want to stick my finger in it. Okay, I enlisted the help of some tweezers to get a hold of that. This coral is a beautiful color. It reminds me a little bit of a recent color I got, a Winsor & Newton color, Pale Rose Blush in a set of gouache. I can't remember how many were in the set, but yeah, if you want to see that, it was a London haul. I'll try to pop a card or something, but I got a few different Winsor & Newton gouaches over there. This is one of the colors, very similar, but a little bit more deep. Like the Pale Rose Blush, I think, is lighter in hue. Alright, what do we got here? I don't know what's going on here. I think I don't want to use this brush to stir it. I have a nice skewer that I found in my desk, and let's give this a stir. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so maybe just because it's... I was going to say there's a little more in there, but I don't know. Maybe it's slightly more than half full, but yeah, sure doesn't seem very full, that container. Now let's see if we can get this color. Ooh, well, this is a beautiful color. Peacock green. I don't know why I'm putting these over here. I was thinking I was going to do some mixing, but I don't even know. Let's see what we get. It's too strong. I think I need a palette and to mix it a little more subtly. Then, saving the best for last, I do believe we have a Beam Paint gouache paint stone, which retails for $11. Now these are like handcrafted. I believe it's a Canadian company made with like earth pigments, I think, and they are expensive, so yeah, but you know, you get that. Look at this cool little way that it is packaged, and it's got the First Nations language there on top, which I'm not going to try to pronounce because I don't think I could do it justice. Then we have Robin's Egg, PG7P, but PW6. It even has pigment information. Now this says handmade watercolor, but it's calling it gouache there. I don't know if they're differentiating too much there. And it says it's light, fast, and professional. Let's wet it and maybe give it a moment. We have a tiny bit there. I'm gonna go in search of a palette. Of course, I don't have any clean palettes, and a bunch of them that are dirty. I'm gonna have to clean one. Oh, I love this color. This is like one of my favorite colors. This is the very light shade of my favorite color range. And boy, it is very light. I just said that, but I don't know what else to say. I wonder if you let it sit longer, if you can get more. I think this beam paint presentation is unique. I like that they use natural stuff, but it is a little bit hard, you know, to get this big old brush in there. So I could live without that. Okay, let me see what I can do for a palette now. I have a relatively clean palette now. Boy, that took some work. I thought it was watercolor or gouache in there. Well, it definitely must have been something acrylic. I wanted to also check, now that these are mostly dry, how well this goes over it. That one's not as dry, and so it struggled a bit. Or maybe I was just going fast. No, I think it's not as dry. Or it could be thicker. So yeah, it looks like it does very well over the top of it. Just checking. Also wanted to see, you know, I just put that down, or actually this has been down a while. Looks very permanent. Just put these down. And oh, it moves a little bit if you just put it down. So give it time to dry. This is still thick right here. I think I'm gonna need another piece of paper to mix on. Try to get a lot of it, and then maybe put just maybe put a little bit of that extra coral in there. See what we can get. This is kind of a thirsty brush, I think. It seems to hang on to the fluid. So I'm going to grab another brush just so that I can pick up this little bit of coral and mix it in gradually. Well, it was somewhat dry, I guess. You can see from the way it's mixing there. Is there any more left on there? Not a lot. Let's grab some from here. Mix it in. Ooh, I don't know if I like what's happening here. Just kind of neutralizing it. This looks like almost, look at this. It's like bisque. It's almost the color of the, what do you call this? The palette. It's a very, very light, kind of warm gray. Let me show you. Nice. I mean, a nice neutral. What else should we try? Maybe we'll put some more of this beautiful robin's egg and see what happens when we add a more pigmented color in. We need some more water there. Trying to get a lot of it because it really has kind of a low tinting strength. It's such a light color. Okay, oops, oh gee. Well, throw it on your desk, wouldn't you? And of course we have another paintbrush just standing around, well, you know what I mean, sitting on my desk. That's a lot. Oh well. Oh, and it's all over me. I don't know what happened. Ooh, this is really pretty though. Kind of turned into, at first it was looking like a raspberry color. And this, oh, this reminds me a little bit of Daniel Smith Wisteria, but it's not quite. It's more purple than that. Or more pink than that? What am I saying? I don't know. But this is a pretty color. Let's make a little flower petals with it. And I don't know how I feel about the hot press paper. I generally don't like hot press to use it much because I put too much water on, but if I can be real careful, maybe I'd like it better. But I don't know, this does seem to be absorbing it. Ugh, I'm throwing water all over. Okay, what else should we try? Do we even bother trying it with the green? Maybe. Just try to get, oh, I almost put it into our little buff color because I can't even see it in my palette very much. So this one with robin's egg and a tiny bit of the peacock makes just a really light color there. Not that interesting to me. You can really see the white, the PW, what was it, PW6? I can't remember. Yeah, PW6, really see that in this mix here. Alright, let's mix some more colors. What about coral? And put a little more peacock. Grab a little, I'm trying to grab equal amounts here, but well, that peacock is super strong. I'm gonna have to add more coral. Look at that, it just ate the coral up. Okay, we want more coral in this mix to see what we get. Still, I think the peacock is a very strong color. And I've turned this into a more muted color. I mean, if you think about it, coral is kind of like a whited out reddish color. And so when you add green is its red, it's opposite. So when you add them together, you're just going to get a neutral. But this is nice. This reminds me a little bit of like ash green is a Holbein color I have. It's a nice muted green color. Let's go down a little further, and we have so much of this beautiful crimson color that's still on the lid. Let's see how well these two play together. Maybe green has met its match. I don't want that much. Well, I'm gonna let the crimson be more in this mix. Ooh, I really like this color. What is this, like? I'm sorry if you hear noises in the background. I don't know what that is, but someone is working in the house, so maybe it's a tool. Sometimes it doesn't come through on the camera, but I can hear it. This is almost a blue color, but it's like a little bit like an indigo. No, I don't know. It's very beautiful. I'll let you see up close here. That's a nice darker value there too. So, and look at all these different colors we can get with all of those. And then, ooh, I wonder if I added, well, let's put just one little bit in here. I mean, I could add white, but white didn't come in the box, so that would kind of be cheating. But I'm wondering if I can lighten it up a bit. Well, I know I can lighten it up a bit, but what I'll get if add some, ooh, yes. Add some of the robin's egg, and look at this. That's pretty. Pretty color. We're just playing with color here. Honestly, I don't know. Why am I taking it out of the pot when I have all this on the lid? Oh dear. I don't know if I'm missing a combination right now because I'm a little bit foggy-headed. Yes, we're gonna get a nice pink here. What happened here? Did I throw some green in my little mixture there? Pink. Mauve. Pink. Rose. Ooh, like a dusty rose color. Covering things up. Is that all I can do? I don't know. Well, we have the black also. And let's pull back the brochure and see. Okay, we have a prompt here. Keep your creativity flowing by using the prompt dragonfly. Dragonfly. So, I'm kind of thinking I might want to try to do a little pattern, like with these colors, and see if I can do a dragonfly pattern. I need to move everything away. Right, popping back in. So I thought I might do a dragonfly pattern. So I tried drawing a very simple dragonfly and then traced it out onto tracing paper. And on the back I have some graphite. I'll show you how I did this. Just kind of scribble on the back. And then, oh, I didn't want that there. I guess I got it on both sides, huh? Let's erase a little bit of there. And then I'm going to trace my little dragonfly in randomish pattern. So let me just do that here. I'll just show you the first one. I'm pressing really lightly and hopefully that's hard enough. I just don't want to get all of the graphite all over. Let me see. That's good enough. I mean, it's pretty ugly, but the whole point is to just get it on there and then cover it up with the gouache, right? Okay, so then I'm going to just pick a few more spots and I'll probably speed it up from here. And I think I'm going to sprinkle in some really simple flowers or something and then just play with the different colors to do a little pattern. Alright, well, this was a real struggle. So I thought I'd come in with some final thoughts here. I have this Holbein tape. It hasn't torn any paper before, but as you can see here, it terribly tore all over on here. That was unfortunate. This paper, I don't love it. I'm gonna have to try it first with some other things. Maybe ink. I don't know. I don't love it for this, the gouache. I didn't let it dry enough with the background, and when I tried to do this flower, it just feathered out, and I didn't like that. Boy, I was really not liking this piece at all. A lot, most of the time. I love the mechanical pencil, and I like this. This Speedball calligraphy brush pen, I think, came in for the rescue at the end because I wasn't really liking everything. But then, you know, added some things with this, and I think it's tolerable. I don't know what I think about this gouache. I think the separation is kind of weird. You can see it's doing weird stuff, you know, after I mixed it. So because it's Sketchbox signature, and I don't know, it doesn't like, that's the brand, I question the quality because I don't know. So that's kind of a bummer. I did really like this little guy here. And this paper, maybe it's the beam paint, but it feels kind of grainy. I guess that's probably the beam paint that's on there because it's on the background, but I don't know. That is that. I have this, and I would like to thank you for taking the time to watch today and supporting my channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Yeah, I always like to hear them. So, and I respond to everyone usually as long as I can. And thanks again for watching. And as always, have a wonderful and creative day. Bye.